Can you see me? You can see it's just fine now. I was doing the most with my phone for a second. No, so anyway, what was I talking about? My girls are vacuuming my room. Okay, great. The girls just said it. Just the usual. Thank you guys. So again, I started reading this book, Why Does He Do That Inside the Mind? And it's like every single thing that this guy does, he follows a script. And so since now I know who he respects and all that kind of stuff, so I can like just make sure I kind of like get in where I fit in, if you will. So that way I can like make sure I get my, you know, because I just don't want it to be this whole thing. Thank you. I collect Biggie shirts because my nickname when I was growing up was Biggie Smalls. So I picked them up. I got this one from Target, but I usually get them from secondhand stores. And it has to say like Biggie Smalls or like has to have the Notorious B.I.G. in it. Yeah, so I have a few of them. Yeah, I was called Biggie Smalls because, hey Rover, bending right over. I was called Biggie Smalls because when I was about, whenever it was when I started developing, right? Hey sister girl Jess. When I was developing, oh no. Bruce is so mad. Hey Kathy Capuccio. So when I was developing as a young lady, you know, about 10, 11, and you know, I start developing, whatever. So when I came about like 15 and 16 years old, then I asked my mom, hey, I'm gonna say Key, is that, or is it something else? Because I think Key, because it's a Q. So I was asking my mom, asked her if it's normal that one of my boobies was bigger than the other. And she was like, my mom was like, no, it's not, that's normal, like that's how girls are. I was like, yeah, but one's bigger and the other one's like a different shape. And she was like, oh no, that's normal, you grow into it or whatever. My brother overheard my mom and I talking about a question about my body. And if anyone has brothers, so my brother said, oh, Leola, you're a Biggie Smalls. And I was like, what? And he was like, Biggie Smalls. Now, again, I was about 14, 15 at the time. And that nickname stuck all the way to my second daughter. So, how old am I? 20. How old do I say I am? Anyway, so thank you. I have to wash my hair, but I love my hair wraps. I can find my other different color ones. So yeah, it was because of the different shape and size. So my brother called me Biggie Smalls. And so when I got it fixed, because after my second child, the doctor said, oh, it's gonna even out, it's gonna get better. Like after you have your children, it gets better, whatever, right? So after my second child and everything, I think it's gonna get better. No, it doesn't. There's no evening out. It was a completely different shape and size. So I did what I had to do. And I got that fixed. But I kept it a secret, right? Because I didn't want anyone to say anything. Yeah, it gets worse. It got worse because like also I breastfed. So since it got worse, So I said I went to a doctor, and then we had like a plan and all that kind of stuff, right? And so, excuse me. So I got it fixed, but I hid it from everyone because I didn't want anyone talking about it. I didn't want my dad to know, because I didn't want my dad to be like ashamed, to be like, why are you doing that to your body? Blah, blah, blah. You know how parents are. And so my dad, I think one day I was at church and I was wearing a white dress, or it was a cream dress, because you only get to wear white like only a certain time of year. So I do all my white wearing clothes. Was it noticeable, or is it just, no, it was noticeable. It was. So anyway, so what I did was I had to wear sports bras for that first like 6 weeks. I had to wear sports bras. And my dad, one day he goes, Leola, that's not the right type of bra that you're supposed to be wearing with that dress. I was like, oh. He was like, don't y'all think, is anyone else think that something's different with Leola? Like, I can't, something's weird. Something's different here. And so no one was saying anything. I didn't say anything, but I went home and I felt guilt. I felt this immense guilt. I felt like I was lying to my dad. I don't keep anything from my father. And there's like only 2 things I've kept from my dad. But anyway, I don't keep anything from him. So I felt like this immense guilt. And then so I went to my parents' house one day, and I was like, hey. And he was like, what's going on? I was like, I gotta tell you something. And he was like, oh, what is it? But this was before like it came out that I was a drinky. And he's like, oh, what is it? And I told him, I was like, hey, I'm no longer Biggie Smalls. And he was like, what? I said, yeah, I'm no longer Biggie Smalls. And he was like, what did you do? I said, yeah, I'm no longer. I'm not Biggie Smalls anymore. And he was like, Leola, you didn't do something crazy like that. I was like, yeah, it's not a thing anymore. And then he looks at my mom and he goes, did you know that girl went? And she was like, it was like, what doctor did you go to? And all this. He was like, did you do it behind the muscle, in front of the muscle? Girl, you. Then he made this pronouncement in the family, and he said, I am no longer going to tease Leola because that girl is crazy. She's crazy. And I was like, yes, that's right. And that's how I explained to him how I fixed the Biggie Smalls. But they still call me Biggie Smalls. So, I mean, it's a good thing. It's a great story. But yeah, other than that, so that's why I collect Biggie Smalls paraphernalia. If not paraphernalia, Biggie Smalls stuff. What just happened? But yeah, so anyway, last night I was on a live and Scala was there and Kappa was there. It was a really great conversation. Kappa was roasting Scala, and I was just happened to be there at the same time, and I was like, oh yes, I'm just gonna go in and like this is my time to shine. And like my jokes were actually landing for once. And then, but the crazy part is, here's some little like, hey, here's some, guess what, guys? So I don't know if this happened, it was like 2 days ago. So there's this woman, her name is Poison Ivy. I think she got her account like banned off of here, right? And so apparently her name is Poison Ivy, like I said. So apparently Poison Ivy, she's a white woman. Not there's anything wrong with that. But Poison Ivy was in the DMs with Scala. And since everyone is like, me and Scala broke up, we're broken up, right? All that good stuff. So she's in the DMs with Scala, but then she sees that I'm still on a live or something with Scala. So she gets so upset with Scala. And she's like, I thought that thing. So this white woman, not there's anything wrong with that, but this white woman, again, not there's anything wrong with that. She said that thing and she referred to me as a thing. I was like, methinks, hey, Reporter Michelle, methinks you're not supposed to be calling women things, and especially another woman that's you, because you think that you have some type of relationship with that guy because you're in his DM, so you're mad at him. Hey, James. So you're mad at him because it looks as though we are being immature, whatever, and going back in and out. So Kappa went in on her. But not only did Kappa go in on her, though, this woman tried to sit there and be like, she was like, oh, drop the addy. I don't know what people say on the internet, but she was like, yeah, you have so much to say, or talking on the internet, so much to say. I was like, wait just a minute. I do not mess with Kappa. I do not. Because Kappa has her llamas. And there's like some people on the internet that you go, oh, I'm going to poke and prod. I have learned my lesson the hard way. Not with Kappa. No. But so Poison Ivy, apparently she is a non-woman of color. Right? And she's, okay, I'm about 130 pounds. Poison Ivy was maybe about 230. Non-woman of color, she's calling me a thing. And she's mad because my ex, which is not an ex, but my ex is still having a conversation with me. And she had like the audacity to be mad. And I was like, first of all, there's no competition, whatever. Like, I don't care. If you want to come in and like swing in and take somebody, I don't care. That's cool. That's crazy, right? She is crazy. She was checking out your... No, yeah, she is the one who was mass reporting. I knew like as soon as like everything got taken out and like Kappa was going in on her, I knew it was her. I was like, man... Yeah, but again, this is not the first time. There's so many women that are mad at me over Scala. They think like I'm the worst. I'm crazy. I'm trying to ruin his life. I'm doing all of that. There's a lot of women who hate me. They don't know anything about me, but I mean, and I mean that's one of the reasons why I don't really care for. And I know, Purple Michelle, please don't be like, don't say anything, whatever you can, if you will, if you want, but like, I'm gonna say this because it's true, but it's like, I don't care too much for No Cry Zone because I feel like you're mad at me for something and I don't know what I did. You dig? It's a mess that comes out of everything. But again, he follows a pattern, and there's this woman, her name is love dot something, and she like needed to get me to read this book, and so I've been reading this book, and so I've been able to kind of understand how he has the way he thinks, and I kind of figured out like how to make sure I kind of protect myself in terms of my feelings, because like I said, I'm super sensitive. Like, people think I'm not, but I'm super sensitive. So the way that I kind of like protect my feelings, but as well as making sure that like I know how to pull out and just be like, you know what, I can't do this anymore for the day, or like I'm gonna block you for a week because something is just bothering you and you're deciding to pull it off from me and I'm not doing it today, you know, that kind of thing. Protect my peace, right? So but yeah, there's a lot of women who don't like me, and it's because of Scala. But I think it's like I don't know what it is, because I've never really just gone out and like not liked women because of a man. I haven't. Like no matter what Scala says, like I don't like. To me, it's like I have these stupid gnats. I'm not gonna buy any more fruit. But it's just I don't compete. I don't. It's you. I just don't compete with people. Like I just don't. So I really understand like my worth, and I know I'm not saying my worth as in like, you know, like those women are like high value, that kind of stuff. Not like that. Like I'm just really attuned to who I am and like what I bring to the table, and not even like the high value table conversation. I just know that there's certain things that I'm good at or bad at, and I just don't compete. And also like if I value my time. Hey, my favorite Floridian is in here. Hey, Mr. Mixmaster. So I value my time. So I think one time I was dating this guy. This was years ago. And he was saying something to me. And he was like, oh yeah, you're just jealous of, man, there is a pattern. There is a pattern of the men that I have dated. I'm telling y'all, there is a pattern. Jeez Louise. But anyway, there was this guy, he was like, yeah, I can say whatever you want. Okay, we're not going to immediately block people. We'll just mute them for like 30 seconds. So there was this guy I was dating. He was like, oh, you're just jealous because my friend, like, she's just my friend or anything like that. And I was like, okay, whatever. It's like, oh, and he would he would just keep on going. And I think I told him, I was like, dude, if you have to choose between me and someone else, go to someone else. I was like, there are so much other things I could be doing with my time. I don't have to sit there and like cry over a man that's gonna be like, oh, sitting there like, here, compete with this and compete with that. It's like, no, I'm good, thank you. I was like, I would much rather be sleeping. So go to her, that kind of thing. And so it worked. And he was with me, but he was a crazy person. He was a crazy person. You know what? And he was like 5'6". There's a pattern. There's a pattern. Oh, hey, Scala. There's a pattern. Petty's in here. Petty has me blocked. So that's kind of strange. But it's okay. I mean, like, she has me blocked on her account, but I still like her lives. Do you think maybe women dislike you because you seem to condone Scala's words and insults? No, I don't condone it. I never have. I've always spoken up against it, but people just don't listen to me. I don't have a loud enough. My voice compared to his is very not loud. She is. Hey, Patty. Oh, but I watch her lives. I like Patty's lives. Such the way that she's always talking about something. She's the only person, like, she calls me Leola. But you can't be if I'm on your page. No, remember when I was on your live and then someone told you that I was mass reporting your page? Because if you can't see my hands, that means that I'm mass reporting your page. That night you blocked me. I don't think you didn't block me like forever, but I'm saying for that night you blocked me. And I couldn't see your page for a while, but I think like I have my backup page. So I'm able to still keep up with the things that you talk about, because I'm always interested. But what was I saying? No, I've never condoned it. But yeah, little people problems. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I also think there are men out there. Hey, Ron, there are men out there who want women to like fight over them. And I'm just like, why? Like, I've never been the jealous type. So like a lot of people think, or there's some women who think that, oh, I think that people are coming after Scholar and like want Scholar or something. And I'm like, no. It's like, you want to take him, take him. He's not like, he's the man in the world. He's not my husband. I'm not married. I'm not tied to the streets. Oh, wait. No, yeah. No, wait. I'm for the streets. I think I'm saying that correctly. Anyway, it doesn't even matter. He's not mine. So if anyone could, like, anyone come and take him away from me, it's all good. So they'll never compete with another woman for a man. So there, on that hand, there's a lot of people who don't like me for that. And then the other hand is what you said, is that a lot of people think I condone his behavior, which I didn't. There's a whole lot that happened behind the scenes, not in public, that y'all never saw. But for me, it would just benefit me not to say anything publicly. I would just like say what I needed to say privately. If dudes want women to fight over them, that's the biggest red flag. Really? The way he yelled at you, I would tell him off? Yeah. It's all good. What about fighting men or for women? I don't know. I've never been a man, so... Again, and I was looking at that guy who got stabbed in New York not too long ago. Because his girlfriend or whatever went into a bodega and she like couldn't pay for some chips or something, and then her boyfriend came with the rah and got himself like stabbed in the neck. I'm just like, I don't know. It's just too hot outside. You know, it's one of those things. It's too hot outside to be fighting for anything. We don't care. We fight anyway. Well, there's a different kind of fight. Are you physically going to fight for someone, or are you going to fight for your relationship? It's different. Hey, Willow, are you going to, like, physically? I will never physically fight anyone for a relationship or for a man or a woman. Physically, no. If I'm going to fight for my relationship, then that's different. It's like, I'm gonna just try and like do what I can to make this work, and when it doesn't, it's gonna be that I didn't fight hard enough, or I'm doing really well, Willow, or I just am super lazy. It's just not. Yeah, there's a big difference. But it's like you want to fight for your relationship. There's a difference. So I don't want to get too like deep into that, because, you know, if you know, you know. No, I mean, when I was married, yes, there was some fighting. Because I just didn't know how to be a submissive woman. Just don't know how to. Y'all need to... Okay, we're muting people. I don't know how to be one of those submissive people. So it was like... my ex-husband would say certain things, and I would just be like... So that lasted for about 3 years of just... or 4 years, 5 years of me just sitting there and going... And then one day, something switched in my brain, and I was like, I'm not taking this anymore. And it turned into Sunny Listen and Pimp Hand. But it wasn't anything, it wasn't domestic violence or anything like that. No. Did y'all hear about Anne Heche? You submissive? No. I don't know how to. You know how people will always say, oh, if you have a man, like if you really want a man, or if you meet the right type of man, then you will submit for him. I can't. It's not in me. And then I'm gonna be pretending to be someone I'm not. It's just, there's some women who can do it, where it's like, man, someone's in your orbit and you're gonna do whatever, be whoever you are. Like, it's so awesome and lovely or whatever. But, and I can envision that being lovely or whatever. But everything that's in me, and maybe I'm just one of those women, right? But everything in me is just like, no, can't do it. I have a dad, sorry. The only man I'm submitting for is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Yeah. I just can't. It's just, I can't do it. I've tried. I just can't. There's some people who can, and there's some people who can't. I can't. It's just not in me. My dad, he makes fun of me all the time. He's like, Leola, it's so sad. You're so single. I don't even think that you'll ever be able to get a man. I was like, wait, what? He was like, you're never doing anything. And I call you all the time, and you answer the phone the first ring. And I ask you to do something, here you come. It's like, man, so sad that I'll never get another son-in-law. And I'm like, what? No, I understand what you're saying, but it's just a certain, it's not a submit in terms of like, you're the head and I'm the bottom and all that kind of stuff. It's not that type of submitting. And I think people do get that mixed up. It's just like the kind of love that you have, the type of support that you have, you kind of fit together perfectly where you know your roles in terms of in the dynamics of your relationship. I don't think it's like never a submit of like, oh, my husband is here and I'm here. No, we just kind of like know your roles, and everyone's different. However, there are just certain things I can't do. It's just not in me. It's not natural for me. So even if I try, there's this guy, I'm still in love with him, and like my version of submitting in a way is something that's like bare minimum to others. So like I think it's like, oh, if I'm just like, I want to make sure the house is clean when he comes from work, or make sure he has like, I cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and like all that kind of stuff. Hey Denise, all that kind of junk. Keep a clean house, but all that kind of stuff. Apparently that's just bare minimum, like that's just basic. And to me, that's like doing more than, because to me, it's just like, I do what I need to do, but I'm not going to go above and beyond, not even for myself. Thank you, Jassy. I'm not even going to go above and beyond for myself, so it's like one of those things, that damn autocorrect. Wait, it's not about submitting, it's caring for your partner. No, I understand. I completely understand. I think some people take this whole, you need to submit, completely wrong. It's just understanding the dynamics in your relationship. That's it. Everything okay? I'm all good. It's understanding the dynamics in the relationship and like how you go about that. Like what I would think it's submitting, because that's the word that we're using, is not necessarily what someone else would be. But it's like just understanding that if in a relationship with a man and a woman, there's certain gender roles and that good stuff. There's gender roles. And then it's just like, how do you navigate that, and how do you with that person, all that good stuff. So, but it's not like completely shedding who you are as an individual and like doing whatever this guy wants you to do. It's like things that you just naturally find that yourself doing because you really care about the person. You find your place, then submit. Yeah, but I think just the word submission, I think it's the connotation of it. Hey Casey, Bruce accidentally got muted. He is not happy. He is not happy. He messaged me. He is not happy. But no, it's just more of like you just become the yin to someone's, not even their yang. You just become who you are. He told you? Oh, he sent me a message, all caps. Can we talk about the gender roles I speak of? Well, I'm talking about gender roles in terms of I don't want to get in trouble. Last time I said something, I got in trouble. I'm like, no, F that. I don't care. Gender roles in the sense, he's laying beside you complaining. It was all caps. What we think of gender roles in the traditional sense. Gender roles in the traditional sense. Thank you. You know when I'm wearing my hair wrap, that means my hair needs to do something. How do you get in trouble on the internet as an adult? No, because I got in trouble for making a joke saying like blackies and colored. So nowadays I just don't know what to say anymore. So, and they like spread that over the internet, being like, whose daughter? If you care about someone, they care about you. Both will do almost everything for each other. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, wait, this is a filter. Don't think this is like my real face. This is a filter. My skin is doing this whole hyperpigmentation thing. I think it's called Leola needs to get out and get more vitamin D. But no, I'm saying traditional gender roles. I know, Charles. I know. I'm just saying. But traditional gender roles in relationships where it's like the woman is like she keeps the home. Yes, like that key. Not a filter. It's just really no. It's a really filtered version of me. She keeps the home. She takes care of the kids. She's a little bit. She's the calmer of the two. That the traditional sense of that. She's not working. It's like barefoot and pregnant, that kind of stuff. Husband goes out he's the one who's the protector of the house and makes all the money and all that kind of stuff in traditional gender roles. However, I feel like as we've come to this new time and age where women can do whatever the HU double hockey sticks we want to, there is the gender roles kind of get confusing. So, but I think in the terms of submitting yourselves in a relationship, and hey, you guys, I have been single for a really long time, so I have no idea what I'm talking about. So anyway, just putting out, like, don't say anything, okay? Don't listen to me because I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just going off like what I see from people that I know who have been are still together. Like my parents are still together. So I feel we need to update ourselves because women and men work these days. Yes. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about traditional gender roles. I'm not talking about today gender roles. But today gender roles and the gender roles of yesteryear, I think a lot of people are kind of clashing with that because our biology is having some fights with our ideology. So our bodies at a certain age, and I can only speak for women, I can only speak for myself. I'm only talking for me. I'm not talking for anyone else. But I think a lot of times that we have this idea of I want to do this, so I can do this all by myself, and I can take care of this, blah, 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 right? And, but then you look back and you're like, it sucks going to work. I don't want to do that. I want to stay at home with my kids. I want to get pregnant. Why do I have to go out and work? This sucks. To leave my kids